anyone and everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is April. Today I'm going to be doing my 22 books to read in 2022. I know it's coming out a little late. A lot of people were posting these like beginning of January and it's actually the end of January. And I don't even know if it's going to be February when I post this. So, but you know what? Better late than never. So I have my books right here. I'm just going to kind of talk about them in the order I read them and kind of give you a little bit of an idea about them and why I want to read them and then move on. I'm trying not going to spend too much time on each book because I don't want this video to be an hour long because I could chit chat for an hour. I really can. So let's start from the top. The first one I have is Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. This is just a really popular fantasy series that a lot of people read on BookTube, and I just want to be part of the conversation. Also, you know, it must be that popular for a reason. It must be a good one. So I want to start the series and I hope to do it this year. Hopefully I can read more than one book, but at least I have one book on my 22 books. So there we go. The next one I have is by Amanda Boucher. It's called A Promise of Fire. This one, let's see, I wrote notes because I put these on here a long time ago. Okay, so this one is part of a series called The Kingmaker Chronicles, and it's about a woman with a gift and a warlord that wants to use her as a weapon. I guess she's like a soothsayer kind of thing. She can determine truth out of lies, and she's trying to hide from her abilities and her destiny, and as per usual, she can't. It's supposed to be fantasy, romance, all that jazz. So I want to read that one. And then the next one I have on there is Grave Reservations by Cherry Priest. This is a mystery. This one, it's like about a psychic travel agent that she isn't very good psychic. Like she doesn't see things, visions very consistent, but she ends up rescheduling a police detective's flight and it ends up saving his life, and so he sees her ability and he has her help him with case. I know there's more to it than just that, but that's kind of the basic idea. I love cozy mysteries. I love mysteries. I actually liked the cover of this book, so that's why I want to read it. The next one I have is Hooked. Now, Hooked is actually, I'm going to read it this February, but this is a dark romance that's supposed to be like, not so much a modern retelling of Peter Pan, but taking the characters and the idea and story of Peter Pan and putting it to a very dark contemporary romance. I think it's even like, there's like crime and stuff like that. Like, it's like, not mob, but kind of like that sort of esque. So I heard it's pretty dark. I heard it's pretty brutal and, kind of smutty and just like, I don't know, just seemed like a good time. So I want to read that one. The next one I want to read, going from dark, smutty, and romance to middle grade, I want to read Eva Evergreen. This one's by Julie Abe. This one's about a witch who doesn't have a lot of magic, but she ends up helping a village with what magic she has, and probably with, you know, her mind. And sometimes it's not so much about how much magic you have, but how you use what you have. And she helps save them. So I just want to, from like some sort of weather catastrophe or something. I don't know. Obviously I haven't read it, so I don't know, but it just sounds really cute. Everyone I hear talking about it who has read it on BookTube says it's really good. So I want to read that. The next in the middle grade that I also want to read is Frostheart. That one's by Jamie Litter. I don't know. Honestly, I just want to read it more because Gavin from, was it How to Train Your Gavin? His BookTube. If you haven't seen it, please watch it because it's freaking adorable. He is adorable. He is like, he puts himself out there on that camera. Like, go him. But he reads a lot of middle grade and I trust his recommendations. So I really want to read that one. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I want to be reading that one too. That's like a Romeo and Juliet, very loose apparently retelling, but it has like magic and monsters, I think. I don't know too much going into it. I just hear really good things. I have both books, the first one and the second, because I think it's a duology. So it's These Violent Delights and Our Violent Ends. Yeah, Our Violent Ends. And I actually want to try to do my first sort of reading vlog. I've never really done like a dedicated reading vlog, so I want to do it on that series. The next book I have is The Library of the Dead, and this is by T.E. Huchu. It's supposed to be a sort of mix between magic from like African heritage and, but it's not fairy, mythology, like that kind of thing, but in a futuristic Edinburgh that's kind of ravaged after a major catastrophe. And in that setting, we follow a young girl who can see and communicate with spirits, and she communicates with them, spreads their message, or tells the people that they want them to tell, or finish a task that that dead person needs done so that they can continue on to the next life. And in that communication, she talks to a spirit where she learns that children are going missing, and then sometimes when they come back with a body of a child but the face of an elderly person. So their face ages and their body doesn't, and they smell of decay, and they just come back really messed up. So she has to go find out why. Another mystery with magic, and in just a really interesting setting. So like the magic is supposed to be, and her family is supposed to be like from Africa, like mythology or African descendants, or just something related to that, but in Edinburgh. So just an interesting combination. I really like it. So I actually just started reading it, so I'm in the beginning, and I'm really excited to finish this one. I'm moving on. The next book I have on my list is Study in Scarlet Women by Sheree Thomas. Whew, such an easy name. Couldn't even get that. This one is in a series called Lady Charlotte. Is it Lady Sherlock? Wow. This is why I didn't want to spend too much time on each book. Lady Sherlock series. It's just another mystery series. This one's more like a historical-based historical-based mystery, and it follows a lady who is trying to, like, I guess there's some murders that happened that are linked to her family, so she's trying to solve the murder so that she can clear her family name. And yeah, so Lady Sherlock Holmes, sign me up. That's all I really need to know. And then moving on, I have another middle grade called A Pinch of Magic. This one I've heard a lot on a lot of booktubers channels that read middle grade. They all say the series is really cute. They all say it's very whimsical. Everyone seems to really love it. So when I hear only good things about a book, it makes me want to read it. Also, it's fantasy, middle grade. I like both those topics. So I know it follows 3 young girls in the first book, and they go on this quest to try to break a curse that's, I guess, affected their family for many generations. And then there's multiple books in the series. And then moving on from there, I have We Hunt the Flame by Hafsa Faisal. Now, this book I tried to read last year or last month or the month before that. I don't remember. I couldn't get into it because it's very dense. It's a fantasy. It's a YA fantasy. And it's got elements of enemies to lovers, but then it also has a lot of like political intrigue, and then a woman who plays as a man in the beginning because magic for women is like shunned upon and all this kind of stuff. So there's a mystery involved, and it sounds amazing. The second book has amazing reviews. People say just get through the first because the second is so worth it. So I really want to do it. I definitely want to do it this year. I want to do it. I want to read it. I just haven't been in the right frame. Although I do feel like I'm starting to get in the right frame of mind. So hopefully that will happen soon. The next book I have is Nettle and Bone by Kingfisher. That one is a book that hasn't come out yet. It's supposed to come out, I think, in April. Let me see. I think I wrote it down. April 26th, I think. Let me see. Yeah, April 26th it's supposed to come out. This one is a fantasy, and I printed out the synopsis because it's so good that I didn't want to mess it up. But it says, after years of seeing her sister suffer at the hands of an abusive prince, Mara, the shy, convent-raised third-born daughter, has finally realized that no one is coming to the rescue, no one except for Mara herself. Seeking help from a powerful grave witch, Mara is offered the tools to kill a prince if she can complete 3 impossible tasks. But as is the way in tales of princes, witches, and daughters, the impossible is only the beginning. On her quest, Mara is joined by the grave witch, a reluctant fairy godmother, a strapping former knight, and a chicken possessed by a demon. Together, the 5 of them intend to be the hand that closes around the throat of the prince and frees Mara's family and their kingdom from its tyrannous ruler at last. So I'm excited about that one. There was no way that I was going to break down that synopsis so it sounded good. But just reading that synopsis makes me so excited to read that. It just sounds so good. It just sounds so awesome. I love fantasy so much, and that just hits all the targets. Okay, so the next one I have, 2 of them actually together, Fable and Namesake. I want to read this duology because I follow a booktuber, Cari Reads. She talks about this book, and when I hear her talk about these 2 books, I really get excited because she mentions that if you like sort of piratey books or books based around water, fantasy books that are very, I just can't find any other word except pirate-esque, that you would like this little duology. So because of what she said, it has made me really interested in it. I really love the covers, and I absolutely love anything to do with like mermaids, oceans, pirates, sea, on a boat. Like I love books like that. So I'm excited to check those 2 out. The next one I have is the Inheritance Games. I am so back and forth on this book. I put it on this list because it is something that I keep coming back to, but then I hear other things about it and I'm like, I don't know. And then I hear more and I'm like, okay, I'll try it. And then I'm like, oh, I don't know, but I just need to read it. Okay. Just read it, you know, just state your curiosity, April, and just read the freaking book, okay? It's pretty popular on BookTube, Bookstagram, and I think even on, was it BookTok? BookTok? I'm not really on TikTok, so I don't know. But it's about a girl who, I guess, inherits this house and a lot of money from a billionaire who she doesn't know why he left this stuff to her, but the only rule was that she had to live in the house with these other relatives, which seem to sound like they're all mostly dudes, but whatever. And she has to live there for like a year with all of them. And then the dudes, on the other hand, the family members, they're like, what happened? Why are you the one getting all this money? And so it's like a mystery, but then it's like also her trying to deal with these weird dudes fighting for money, and just seems like chaos. And I'm down for chaos. I like chaos. I love morally gray characters. I like just not knowing what's ways up and down, who to trust, who not to trust. Like, I'm digging it. So hopefully I'll read it this year. The next one I have on here is Jade City. This one is very, very popular right now on BookTube. Everybody seems to be picking up because the last one came out recently. It's a trilogy, and it's called the Green Bone Saga. I really want to pick this one up. It just sounds really good. It's like a urban fantasy where these family clans fight over this power source of jade. I guess jade is what amplifies people's magic. And yeah, so it just sounds really, really good. I'm really curious to check it out. So hopefully I'll be getting that soon. The next book I have is Velocity Weapon. This one's by Megan E. O'Keefe. I actually have the physical copy on my shelf. This is a sci-fi series that I really, really want to pick up. I don't hear really anybody talking about it, but I printed out also the synopsis for this one because I really don't want to mess some of these up. Like some of these are a little hard for me to break down. But this one really intrigues me, and I really have one of my goals for the year and challenges for the year to finish a sci-fi fantasy series. Sci-fi series. So I picked this one, and I really hope that the first book works out. But it says, dazzling space battles, intergalactic politics, and a rogue AI collide in Velocity Weapon, the first book in an epic space opera. It's about Sandra and Byron grieve, their siblings destined for greatness, a high-flying sergeant. Sandra has the skills to take down an enemy combatant. Byron is a savvy politician who aims to use his new political position to prevent conflict from escalating to total destruction. However, on a routine maneuver, Sandra loses consciousness when her gunship is blown out of the sky. Instead of finding herself in friendly hands, she awakens 230 years later on a deserted enemy warship controlled by an AI who calls himself Barrow. The war is lost, the star system is dead. Ada Prime and its rival Icarion have wiped each other from the universe. Now separated by time and space, Sandra and Byron must fight to put things right. Sounds pretty cool. I have no idea how I would have broken that down, but there you go. Hopefully it's okay that I read that to you. It just sounds really great. It sounds really awesome. I think there's 3 books. So 3 books is pretty awesome. I like a good trilogy. All right, so moving on. The next book I have on here is Finlay Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. That one's actually coming out in February, and I really loved Finlay Donovan is Killing It. It was actually one of my top 5 books of 2021. Loved it so much. Such a good mystery. Plus, I really like the audio, so I really recommend the audiobook. I actually plan on sticking to audio, and I've already pre-ordered the audio for Finlay Donovan is Knocks 'Em Dead because I really enjoyed it that much. Moving on. Daisies for Innocence by Bailey Cottrell. I actually just finished that in January. I absolutely loved it. It was so cute. It's the beginning of a cozy mystery. I also wanted to start a newer cozy mystery. I've read quite a few, but they're older ones, so I wanted something new and fresh, especially to talk to you about on my channel. And I have 3 of them now, and this was the first one. I obviously bought this more because of the cover than anything else because it has a corgi. I have a corgi. I come to find out reading the story, it's also based in California. I live in California. Like, this book is made for me to read it. But it follows a young lady who, she also, like Finlay, is going through a divorce or just had a divorce many years earlier. And she runs this fragrance shop, and everything's going on great. She's starting to get her life back on track. And then she finds a body outside of her work. Now, because it's outside of her business, her shop, she's one of the prime suspects, and to clear her name, she decides to solve the murder. And I'm hoping that the rest of the books are just as cute as the first one. Moving on, the next book I have is Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. Also read that this year, or this month, and 5 out of 5 stars. I loved it so much. If you love Caraval series, like Once Upon a Broken Heart, perfect for you. Perfect. Please read it. It's wonderful. I love Jax. He was my favorite character out of the Caraval series, so following him, chef's kiss. And then the second to last that I have is Daughter of the Siren Queen. I read Daughter of the Pirate Queen last year in November, and I absolutely loved it. It was like one of my favorite books, and I think it was one of my top 5 favorite books. It was one of my top 5 favorite books of 2021, and I absolutely loved it so much. And I just recently got the hardcover second one. It's a duology called Daughter of the Siren Queen, and I just got it in recently, and I'm so excited to read it so much because I loved the first one so much. It follows a girl who is a daughter of a pirate king, and she's really good at fighting and at being a pirate. She's a very good pirate. She is kind of pretty much like a female Jack Sparrow, and she gets herself kidnapped on the ship where she needs to hunt for a piece of a map. But she has to do it secretly. She can't let the people who kidnapped her know that she really is looking for something and is only pretending to be a captive. It was really good. It has a very, I felt like it was a very light romance. It wasn't like in your face romance. It's just light humor, goofy story. It's 90% on a ship, which, hello, I love that kind of stuff. And I liked the main character a lot. It had a little bit of a twist in it. Actually, I had like 2 little twists. One you kind of see coming, you get hints of. The other one I didn't see coming, so got me. And I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to read the next one. Last book on this list is going to be These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan. This is a YA series that I really want to read. I wrote a note on it. It is a fantasy romance. It's pretty hefty fantasy, I think, romance, but it's a girl who is caught between 2 treacherous fairy courts and their dangerous, seductive princes. I love fae. I love anything to do with fae. So fantasy, fae, you got me. It's really all I need to know. Done. So that's it. Those are the 22 books that I want to read in 2022. If you guys have any of these books on your list as well, please let me know in the comments. And if you want to throw out some of yours that you're excited to read in 2022, also let me know, because any reason to excuse to talk about books is, I mean, this is why I talk to a camera, because I just want to talk about books. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love for you if you could press that subscribe button. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful rest of your January or beginning of February, whenever this video comes out. See you guys in the next video.